Hello and welcome back to part 2 of season 3 of my modular journey. I took an extended summer break because I've had a lot of distractions and life has gotten pretty busy, but I'm hoping to get back to finishing up this season, hopefully by the end of this year, starting with episode 8. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Doepfer A-121-2 Multimode VCF. I picked up this multimode filter in October of 2020. Whoa. So a year ago, wow. October of 2022, $138 is what I paid for it. I'm pretty sure I got it from Perfect Circuit. It is a 12 dB multimode filter featuring an audio input level attenuator right here, and the audio signal comes in here, and this attenuates the input signal, as well as 4 separate outputs supporting, let me see if I can get this in here, low pass, high pass, band pass, and notch filter types. You can see that there. It has 2 frequency CVs, so these FCV1, FCV2 here. The first one is just straight voltage. Whatever you put in is what goes in. The second one has another attenuator down here. And when you use both of them at the same time, the voltage coming into both of these is summed. There's also a CV-controlled resonance, or Q as they call it on this module. There's a little Q here. So this is the resonance knob. You set that to wherever you want, and then if you stick another voltage in here, you can then attenuate what's coming in here to be applied here. It's just got a whole lot of stuff going on this seemingly innocent little deck, including these 4 outputs. What I really like about multimode filters in general is their ability to use multiple outputs, in this case 4, simultaneously. So you could take a whatever's coming in, filtered, low pass, high pass, band pass, and notch, all 4 of them out at the same time and make some noise. Oh, and then there's also, of course, the self-patching. Self-patching, not sure if I want to get into that yet. Self-patching filters is probably some of my favorite noise to make in all of Eurorack. And I know I say that a lot when I talk about modular and Eurorack. I use the F word a lot. A lot of things are my favorites. All right, so as far as the why and how, as I usually lay out in these videos, why I bought it and how I plan to use it, I mean, it's a filter, so that's really what it's going to do. It's going to be a filter. The way I use filters is not the same as I would like on my synthesizers, just knocking off the cutoff or raising some resonance and making squealy noises. I tend to do a lot of self-patching or cross-patching from one filter into another to just make sometimes you can make some pretty insane sounds that actually sound pretty neat. So that's kind of a lame introduction. It's been a long time since I've made these videos, so you're going to have to forgive me. But that's kind of the introduction. That's what it is and how I plan to use it. Why I purchased it is it's another multi-mode filter, and it's Doepfer, and I really love the Doepfer gear. I'm going to get this in the rack and get some power to it, and let's just start making some noise. All right, let's get a little power going here. Plug your ears. So the A-121-2 is in the rack. We got power. We're ready to go. So what do we want to do first? Let's just pick on plats. I'm trying to say plats. It just doesn't work for me. So let's pick on plates. It has a pretty interesting sound currently coming out of it that I think would go well with filtering. I'm just going to take a output out of plates here, just the out jack, and I'm going to stick it in to the VCF. And then I'll take anything out of the VCF. Let's go with low pass to start with. Over here to my mixer, way over yonder, and just turn it up. Now let's turn up the signal attenuator. All right, so we got a signal coming out into the in. We have it attenuated here to about 3 o'clock. Then we have low pass coming out to the mixer, and then the mixer, of course, out to the DAW. And that's it. Nothing else is going on. So let's listen to, here's low pass. Let's move it to high pass. Now, high pass is not making any noise because we have our cutoff all the way up to the top. If we want to hear high pass, we have to lower the cutoff. if we go back to low pass, of course we're not going to hear anything because the cutoff is down. Nice. All right, so let's pop on down to Bandpass and see what we get here. So Bandpass, of course, is the kind of like a TP, little A-frame. So now we're going to sweep down the cutoff again. All right, I'm going to move down to the notch now, which is inverted. It looks like an inverted band. Starting again at the top, we're going to sweep down. And this one's an interesting shape, so listen to the different places that it seems to cut. You hear it right there. Then the low end kicks back in here. So that's pretty cool. It's a very clean sounding filter to me. It sounds pretty smooth. So let me start up here at the low pass again. I'm going to kick in some Q or resonance. Like about let's do about 50% and see what it sweeps like. Turn it up a little more. Trying to keep my hand out of the way. Turn up the Q all the way. And there's a little bit of stepping there because it's an extremely high resonance Q. To that. So that sounds pretty cool. Now if I wanted to test all those types of things out without being in here with my fat hands and touching things, I would probably use an LFO, right? So way up here I have this fancy LFO, Batumi. All right, so what I have here coming out of Batumi is, this first one is the cutoff sweep. So that's just swinging this knob back and forth, or the frequency knob. Now the next one down here I have attenuated. Let me turn this up all the way, and I'll bring up this LFO amount, or this speed here. So what that is that's the resonance being swept as well at a little bit of a slower LFO. So when you see the light go out, that means this knob is turned all the way down. When you see the light come on, that means the knob's all the way up. That's kind of how you visualize that. So where things start getting really interesting for me with filters, again, is all of these outputs. So give me a second here. I'm going to wire up all 4 of these outputs. All right, so for this next little experiment, I just put each one of these outputs, low pass, high pass, band pass, and notch, into a mono feed into this mixer over here. And I turned up only low pass to start with, and it's going to sound kind of like this when I sweep with a little bit of resonance. All right, so now my notes here said to turn this up to about halfway, and then I want to come over to the mixer, not the filter, because it's burping out all 4 shapes right now. And I'm going to turn up channel 4 of the mixer over here, which is the notch signal. So the interesting part about low pass and notch together is that just not even the filter, like not even 2 different shapes doing something in the filter itself, but just the audio side of it. And this is the thing about sound that I haven't quite wrapped my head around, and that's the whole thing about cancellation. I mean, I understand it in the way of EQs and things like that, where if you have 3 instruments at 300 hertz, then they're going to drown each other out and make a lot of mud. When the wave signals coming out of the filter are then mixed in a mixer over here, they just start stamping over each other. I think that's what's going on anyway. So this is all kind of interesting. This is the only filter I've actually done this experiment with. I don't know if all the other ones do it the same. Kind of imagine they would. All right, so for the last one of these this kind of mundane little test, I'm going to put all my mixers at about 50%. I'm now going to take the 3rd sine wave out of Batumi and actually bring that into the full voltage cutoff. So whatever is sweeping over here is it's not going to be attenuated at all. But the second one is being attenuated by this knob here. But these 2, the full and the attenuated ones, will get summed. So there should be some movement going on with the sound with that. So let's hear what that sounds like. All right, I'm going to bring up the speeds. So if you keep an eye on Batumi's lights, you can see which channel is in what position based on the lights coming on or off. The red light on means it's at the top of the sine. All right, so now if I start raising these speed-wise, it's going to do exactly what you expect, right? I'm going to raise the volume of the low pass a little bit more. So that's kind of interesting. Keep an eye on the pulsing low pass. Kind of matches this signal here. And that is the attenuated frequency cue, or frequency cutoff. So I realize none of this is extremely interesting. But this is literally what you find me doing on a Saturday or Sunday in my living room, is just making these kinds of noises. So now let's do the thing that I always love to do, and that is now that I got it making noise, I'm going to take the entire mix out and put it into an effects unit, which here is FX Aid. Crank up the volume. Now let's throw a splash of reverb on it all. Kind of sounds like a long night after Taco Bell. Anyway. Alright, so for this part of my little sound exploration, I'm going to take Bandpass out of this filter back into itself. I'm going to put it into the CV2, so this FCV2 here, and that is attenuated here by this knob right here. So if I raise this frequency up just a little, like to 3, and then I raise the attenuated bandpass coming back in to feed it, you hear this growling sound. Can you hear that? So now we're going to mess with the resonance knob. So I think what I was hoping to achieve here is kind of like a little distortion box. Hold on, that got a little loud. Let me lower that back down. So I just kind of like almost like the tearing sound that's happening. Using bandpass, self-patching, out low pass only, and then a couple of LFOs twiddling the knobs. Digital delay in here, a little delay, a little reverb. If you look at the speed of these LFOs. Oh hey, I can patch an LFO with an LFO. So after an hour of messing around, I think I finally have the sound I was going for, and that's basically just kind of a gritty, tearing sheet metal kind of sound. With a little delay and a little reverb for effect. This is my first video recording since February-ish of 2023, so forgive me for being a little rough, but this has been Season 3, Episode 8 of my modular journey, featuring the Doepfer A-121-2 VCF 12 dB multimode filter. Say that 10 times fast. Coming up next will be the Doepfer A-124 VCF 5 Wasp. So stay tuned for that.